No? Hello? Okay, yay! Amazing, so great to be here. So good to see so many familiar faces. Like Lisa said, for those who don't know me, I'm Manon, and I'm here to talk through how at Let's Do This we're thinking about inspiring more shared experiences through technology. About 6 years ago, I decided to sign up to 100K Ultra in Cape Town. I don't really remember why I thought it was a good idea, but somehow I managed to convince two of my really good friends from Let's Do This, Archie and Jenny, to join me. We traveled to one of the most amazing cities in the world. This is Cape Town at sunset the evening that we arrived. Archie decided to buy a beaded giraffe that became our mascot for the weekend, and we decided to call it Steve. And the race itself was absolutely amazing. We climbed up countless mountains, ran through beautiful valleys, and across expanses of insane beaches. Jenny was doing the 65K, while Archie and I ran and did a lot of walking as well for the entire 100K together. At kilometer 50, I remember looking back at Archie and saying this was absolute torture, and I had no idea how we were going to do another 50K again. At kilometer 75, Archie started hallucinating. We realized that he was probably severely dehydrated, but we laughed it off and kept running, as you do. We crossed the finish line sometime in the middle of the night, and Jenny was there waiting for us to celebrate. And when I say celebrate, I mean we did this. This was my first and to date only 100K Ultra in one of the most beautiful locations you can imagine. I honestly couldn't tell you what my time was, or where I ranked, or what the elevation of the course was like. What I can tell you is that Archie, Jenny, and I still have a WhatsApp group where 6 years later, we're still joking about Steve and reminiscing about the insane memories we made in those mountains. The magic of that weekend didn't come from the course or the views or even crossing the finish line, as good as that did feel, but it came from the laughter, the shared struggle, and just these insane memories I made with two of my really good pals, and of course with Steve. And this is why I feel so passionate about what we're doing at Let's Do This. We want to find ways to empower more people to have these incredible shared experiences that really create memories that genuinely do last a lifetime. 6 months ago, at the last Let's Do This Live that some of you were at, we started sharing how we were thinking about the power of social inspiration. People inspiring people to come join them at events. And so today I want to take you through how we've been collaborating with some of our partners to take this even further. And this continues to be built on actual insights and trends in our industry. According to a massive survey, which is a survey across thousands of participants, of runners in the UK, 41% of them say that they first hear about events through friends and family. And that those recommendations from people that you know are so much more powerful than any other recommendation you might receive. According to Strava, 81% of people say that community is one of the main motivators for them taking part in events. And this spans the globe. According to Running USA, 40% of people say that they wouldn't even have entered an event if it wasn't for a friend doing it too. But there are limits to these trends, and problems that stop them from having the impact that we'd love them to have to get even more people participating. The first is that word of mouth is too limited and too random. Getting these recommendations from your friends relies on coincidental chats at your run club, a random conversation with a colleague at work who's telling you that they've signed up to an event in a few weeks that you might want to do as well. Or it takes someone actually taking the initiative to DM their friend and say, hey, I've signed up for this event that I think you'll love, you should come join me. And we all love being that motivator, that person that's DMing their friends, getting them psyched to do an event together, until suddenly you regret it because you realize of all the admin that you're going to have to do in the next weeks or months to get everyone together. It requires coordinating a load of calendars, getting all of your friends' details so you can book as a group, or figuring out who's paying for what. And so at Let's Do This, we want to solve these problems and take these insights and trends into the industry even further to get more people participating. So we're building the world's first platform for social registration, where it's easy for everyone to be that motivator, getting their friends excited to take part in events, and where people are inspired by their community's activity to take part in more events together. But in order to do that, there's two things we have to do. We need to empower motivators, and we need to build inspiration through that community. So let me show you how we've been collaborating with some of our partners to go after these opportunities and how some of this is coming to life. So look at empowering motivators. We worked with our partners Mascot on their newly expanded Diplo Run Club series. If you don't know about this event, think 5K crossed with the most insane music festival you've been to. This is a nationwide event series that is taking the country by storm. And Ryan at Mascot told us that they had previously tried to use a referral program that had worked quite well, but they wanted to take that even further. So we put ourselves in the shoes of the motivators. What could we do to really ensure that it was a complete no-brainer and seamless for them to bring their friends along and have this shared experience together? And so we integrated social prompts throughout the entire registration journey. We weren't reinventing the wheel here. Some of these were features that we knew worked well individually. Others were improvements to existing features, like tying the referral program to our team's functionality. But the key here was trying to make this whole flow significantly more social and make it a complete no-brainer at every step in the journey to bring those friends along with you so that you're going to have a better time with them at that event. And doing this led to amazing results. Mascot managed to get 23,000 entries during the 48-hour pre-sale window, completely smashing their original targets. And this primarily came from the fact that 5,000 teams were created in those 48 hours, which is 10 times more teams than the previous year, despite having actually used a very similar referral program. And that all came from thinking about how we could make it way easier for those motivators to invite their friends. And collaborating with Ryan and the team on this was amazing. They were quite rightly a bit nervous. This was a newly expanded series. We were making quite a lot of changes, but it was a huge success. And they had no idea that they could transform a referral program simply by making it more social. So let's look at when you have a network of connections that started forming, people who've participated together, who've booked together, how can we actually build inspiration through this community that's starting to form? And so we partnered with Reese Leisure at their Southampton Marathon event to test this out. Chris wanted to make the 2026 event launch as successful as possible. And we wanted to see how could we use the power of social inspiration through community to achieve this. And so to do that, we started building out a community around Southampton in the Let's Do This app. We wanted to get as many people as possible connected so that we could actually test the power of those connections to inspire more activity. So in the lead up to the event, we encouraged all participants that were going to be taking part in the Southampton Marathon to download the app. And through the onboarding flow, they could see their local communities, run clubs, and they could join those and get connected to them. And they could also connect to others who were going to be taking part in that event with them in the next weekend. And so they started to form initial connections between people. It's then event day. Thousands of runners are taking the streets of Southampton, having an incredible time. And when participants completed the event, there were stands where they could get their photos taken with their friends to really get those memories cemented about the amazing day they've just had. And they could turn these into race recaps in the app. They could add their photos, add a bit of text, and share that round to their connections on the app. But they could also easily make these amazing assets to share this externally, like on TikTok or on Instagram, so that people from their wider networks could help celebrate with them as well. But they could also be inspired to be part of the fun and to get connected on this community too. And so this is how the Southampton community started growing. We've got people who've participated in the event, they're spectators, they're supporters, and people from outside networks as well. And so the app became the perfect place to market next year's event. People are crossing the finish line, they're absolutely buzzing, having just done the marathon. They're not checking their email inboxes. But push notifications were showing up on their phones, encouraging them to relive the high and book again next year. And so the event page for 2026 started to build up, with people showing up as interested or actually attending next year's event. And that's when the buzz really started. As soon as a single person on that network marked themselves as going to the event, everyone they were connected to was getting notified. and inspiration started flowing through this network of connections. And that's really the power of this network. Those word-of-mouth recommendations are no longer relying on coincidental chats at your run club or DMs from a friend. They're actually happening in an automated and scalable way. And it was amazing to see the results of this for Southampton Marathon. We managed to help Reese Leisure get 3 times more registrations for next year's event in the week after launch compared to last year. And we found that people were 2 times more likely to book again if they were part of the community on the app. And this led to thousands of long-lasting connections that can inspire future participation as well. Because the amazing thing about these connections is that they don't end when an event ends. These connections that form through teams, or through people booking as a group, or by connections in the app, they live on to spark further shared experiences. If anyone that you're connected to books another event or marks themselves as interested in another event, everyone's getting notified and getting inspired to join. So every connection is an opportunity to inspire each other in the future. And we're really only just scratching the surface here. By making it easy for everyone to be a motivator, by empowering connections before, during, and after events, and by having these connections live on beyond individual events, we're not just helping people have better experiences, we're actually growing the entire industry together. So we can't wait to keep pushing this forward with all of you. Thank you.